everybody, it's Oksana, and today I'm going to show you how to make these Mokume Gane or Mokume Gane, I don't know how to pronounce that officially, style polymer clay cabochons and beads. And the ones that I demonstrate on in this video, the glaze is still drying, so if they look a little cloudy, that's why. It's these kind of earth tone ones. There's a bead up there, and then the other ones are just other pieces that I've made just to show you how different they can all look. It just depends on the color combination that you use, and then it just looks different each time. It's a nice surprise when you cut the clay and see what kind of cool pattern shows up. So if you want to see how this style is done, then just keep watching. So I'm starting out with some pieces of clay. I got alcohol ink all over my hands. This is the same color, but I added a little alcohol ink, and that's what happened. But anyways, just choose 4 colors that you like, that you want to put together, or you can choose, 2 colors, 3 colors, 5 colors, whatever you want. But I have 4, and these two are a little similar. They're just different shades of gold, and then a dark brown, and then this one, like I said, I just tinted this gold to make it a little greenish. So make a little ball out of your clay, 4 little balls, or however many you're using, so that they're the same size, and then put them through your pasta machine on the thickest setting, which is what I did here. And then you can put that result through your pasta machine again. Just kind of make it even thinner and longer. And then you can layer them on top of each other. It's okay that it's not perfect. This will just be a little bit of extra. And then you want to take, actually, you can roll this as well. So if you want, you can leave it, or you can roll it. It'll make a subtle difference because now my layers are really thin. Got really squished up. So you can do it either way, but now I'm going to cut it into kind of even pieces. And this last piece is kind of not exactly even, but that's okay. This whole process is very organic, messy, and that's what makes it look neat. You don't have to be super, super precise about it. Okay, so now you have this little stack, like that. So what you want to do with this little stack is you just want to even it out a little bit. Like a little rectangle. Okay. And now you want to take some tools, maybe things that you have around the house, or if you have polymer clay tools, you can use those. And what you're going to do is you're going to do things like poke holes through it, like this, with different shapes and sizes on both sides. You can do a big one as well. You can put little lines through it like this. Make sure it doesn't fall apart into pieces though. Might want to smush it back together if you make a big long line. And then you just smush it up because you want to close up those gaps and those holes. So I'm just gonna smush it back into kind of a rectangle square shape, and your lines are going this way, and we're gonna cut it this way, so not against the layers but with the layers that we made. So you take a blade and you just cut it like that, and you make as many, you know, of these as you can get out of one piece. So now there's a few different things that you can do. You can make beads. What I do for that is I take a little scrap, I roll it into a ball, kind of flatten it, and then I take one of these pieces, I choose a side that I like best, kind of fold it over that base of the bead. Then I usually roll it again, which can change your design, so if you don't want to, then just don't roll it again. And then I flatten it with my fingers into the size and shape bead that I want. And then I take this little tool, I just need some kind of needle, and then I poke it through my bead. Oops, a little extra piece of clay got on there. Just kind of turn it and gently push it through. So here's a bead. You can make cabochons. So I'm taking this piece, I'm taking a mold, and this mold, this is kind of expensive. It's made out of silicone, and I use this for resin. But for polymer clay, there's other materials, other cheaper materials that will work with polymer clay that just don't work with resin. So you can use other types of molds. Flexible Molds, I believe, is the name of a website. I haven't purchased from them yet, but they make some kind of rubber molds that they don't work for resin, but they work for polymer clay. So you can buy those, or you can shape it with your hands as well. So what I'm doing is I'm putting that in, and it actually fits well. If it doesn't and you don't have enough clay, just add a little piece of clay to the back, and then just, you know, smush it in there. But this one actually happens to be enough. If not, maybe even just a little extra clay. So I'm just trying to push it away from the edges here, because otherwise they'll have like this little overflow and it won't be a nice shape. So I'm going to pull it out, and here's a little cabochon that I made. Another thing you can do, just to change up the design, is to roll a little bit of scrap clay out. I usually try to find a similar color. And then I take my clay, I put it on the scrap piece, and I roll it, and this will flatten out that design, and it'll kind of like stretch it out and change it a little bit. And then you would do the same thing. You would cut it into a little piece, and you would smush it in the cabochon mold the same way. So here's a little piece that was stretched on the rolling machine after I made it, and it just gives a little bit of a different effect. It just kind of stretches all the lines out, elongates them a little bit. So it can look neat. can be a nice way to mix up the little design. And again, I have plenty of clay here to fit my mold, so I don't need to add any in this case. But here's a little piece that it made. And then I have a longer one for making a large piece here. So for this large piece, this is also rolled out. And you want to kind of stretch it so it fits the edges. If your little square piece doesn't fit in the mold, like if it's too small, that's totally fine. I work with that all the time, and I just like stretch it with my fingers just to fit the inside of a mold. It doesn't have to be the same length and width and all that. So as you can see, I need to add a little bit of clay. So I'm going to grab a scrap piece and just add that in. And you want to smush this pretty hard so the clay really mixes into the other clay since you're adding a whole new chunk of it. And then again, I just kind of push it away a little bit from the edges so I don't get that overflow. And this is kind of a neat design on the back too. Sometimes what happens as I'm doing this is I look at the back and I think, well, this looks really nice. And if I like it better than the front, then I usually end up switching, like putting it in and smushing it again. So you can definitely do that. But here's the large piece that it made. This is the gloss varnish that I use. It's just a polyurethane gloss. I've just had good luck with it. It says non-yellowing finish, stuff like that. So, I mean, I haven't had any problems with it. Seems to work well for me. I also sometimes use the a Sculpey brand varnish as well. So after my pieces have baked, I just coat them with this. So here are the pieces after I baked and glazed them. There are a few others that you may see on here just because I made a few more after I made these ones that I showed you. So that's what the finished product looks like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!